So I decided to fix this top that I bought a while back by taking it in properly. Now that I've, got space to sew. I'm trying out a voiceover for sewing video inspired by Prickly Alpaca, who I am convinced is me if I'd been a cis woman. That's the kind of cis woman I would have been, and I am obsessed with her. She is chaos incarnate, and I relate to that. So the plan is we're going to take in the shoulder and bottom seams. The seam unpicker would be my best friend and my nemesis for this project. I first unpicked the bottom seam and unfolded it and then tucked it back in along the new bottom line. I actually figured out which stitch to use for stretchy seams. It's not the zigzag, it's like a this kind of pattern. It actually worked, and I'm so impressed with that. It did turn out wavy though, but it's probably fine. It's a much nicer fit now, so that's great first step. And I thought, this is going well. I'm sure the shoulder seams won't be a problem now that we've finished half the work. My deadline was a fun outing to the maid cafe that I was gonna have with my friend on Friday. This was Tuesday. I thought I had plenty of time. I meant for it to take a day. It took 3 days, but it's fine. It's fine. So for the shoulder seams, they had like an elastic sewn into them. There was one seam to finish the actual fabric, then one seam for the elastic on it. Then that was folded over and affixed with another seam. I looked at that and was like, well, we don't need to undo that to take it in. We can just gather it better and fiddle a ribbon through the existing canal alongside the elastic and gather it that way. I lost an afternoon to trying that, and it did not work. So the second idea was that I was going to open the seam holding the elastic folded open, sew along it, gather the thread to the right length, and then sew that, I guess, and see from there how it goes. That also didn't work. So we undid that, took the elastic out, leaving an unfinished edge. So it was like, well, the neckline seam is finished off with like a band sewn onto it, like bias tape. So I was like, well, let's get some bias tape, I guess. And I walked across like half of Manchester trying to fucking find a sewing shop, and 2 of the ones I found on Google did not exist. I did eventually find tape, so I cut it to the length that we want to gather to. I manually pinned the gathers and then sewed them down with the gathers down because I was like, well, I want to see where on the tape I'm sewing them. They ended up being uneven because of the sewing machine. So we unpicking again. I repinned them the other way so that I could better control them while I sewed. Except they needed to be gathered at the top, not like evenly along the whole way. So I unpicked and repinned it again. I gathered them more tightly in the middle this time. And then I sewed along the new gathers. And I actually finished the other side of it by hand because it was too thick for the sewing machine. And I pressed it as flat as it could go, but it was still pretty chunky in the middle because of the gathers. But it worked, and it's done now. And I have a nice top now, and I'm very happy with myself. And I wore it to the maid cafe and looked very cute. Hopefully I'll have more sewing videos soon enough because I actually have space to make them now. So that's good. See you in the next video. Bye.